17 is underway. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Down. 60 Pittsburgh.
Focus, defense, focus.
Now.
On the ground, this is Saquon Barkley. And an early how do you do right there as they're going to bury him in the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Here we go.
Now Jones, operating from the gun. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. So erase the flag. They decline it.
And did they use the big eraser, or was that the one at the end of the number 2 pencil?
Well, I was thinking the 2x2-inch ones that you can buy and use in addition to the pencil.
And those last forever.
A long time.
No doubt.
And this third down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long.
Let's go.
Here's Jones. From the gun, he'll throw. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up. Back on their heels.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. So on 4th down, here's Sam Cook to punt it away. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Naeem Hines, his first carry. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. There to stop him on the defensive side, Lorenzo Carter. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Brissett. They'll find Paris Campbell. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. On 1st down, it's Hines. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37. Gain of 9.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early, because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
Now it's Hines. And the ball is knocked out. And the Giants have it. It's picked up. It's a foot race. 30. 10. And he is in. Touchdown, New York. Even the great ones, some of the best, they're not immune to the fumble, and here it really hurts them.
If the ball gets away from any runner's body, that's when the defense pokes at it, swipes at it, swats at it, and finds a way to create a big play for themselves.
PAT up and good by Rosas. And that makes the score 7-0. This is taken at his 4. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. The partner just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season. The playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know in recent years in the draft, people have shied away from taking a runner early, but if there's that special one there, I say they go get him.
Now on 2nd and 13. Brissett looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Harvey. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
On 3rd down, Hines. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And he cuts it right sideline. And down to the 16-yard line. And he will finally be taken down at the Giants' 16-yard line. So a big carry there, maybe trying to atone for that fumble he had earlier in this one.
Yeah, I know every coach always tells you, shake it off, let it go. You know it's in your head. You want to make up for it, and he did exactly that on that play.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down.
51 to mine. You must be getting tired of seeing me.
Here's Brissett. And it'll be intercepted. Snags it for the pick.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a 1st and goal situation. Now Jones. And Ingram's got it. Touchdown, Giants. Evan Ingram, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Giants are able to add on to their lead. Rosas good with the extra point, and it's now 14-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Nyheim Hines his 11th touchdown of the year, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Greg Joseph on for the extra point. And that one makes it 14-7. Joseph now to kick this one away. This is taken at the 3. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments. Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Throwing again on second down. Jones. Going to throw right side here. Complete. 17 yards and a Giant first down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-armed guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
And now here's a deep shot that's complete. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Antonio Callaway, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Giants are able to add on to their lead. PAT up and good by Rosas. And it's now 21-7. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. Now a hit and a loose football. And the Giants have it. It's picked up. And a super return as he gets this all the way down inside the 25-yard line. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 24-yard line.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Now Saquon Barkley. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. A pretty wild first quarter. 21-7, our score.
Got it. Here we go. Here we go. 60-or.
To throw on 3rd down, Jones. He dumps it off to Barkley. And he's going to be marked down short of the first down, right around the 17. Given 6 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Boy, you sure don't see that too often.
I guess you can't really call anything a gimme, but you figure with his track record, that's a sure thing. But it turns out it's not the case.
Check. Lucky.
Off the play fake. Here's Brissett. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Give the sack to Lorenzo Carter.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 18, and he'll bring it back to the 9-yard line. They had him back deep, got the interception, and now they start inside the 10.
Partner forgets starting inside the red zone. They're inside the green zone. From the 10-yard line in, a lot of teams call it that because that's the money zone. Get it into the end zone and make your cash.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And here he'll get it down to the 7. He'll get only 2 there, and it's 2nd and goal.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
On 2nd down, here's Barkley. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal. They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Jones. And he's got it. Touchdown, Giants. Darius Slayton, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Giants are able to add on to their lead. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route ordinarily is probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They trail here by 24 points. Got to get going soon, you'd have to think, as they come up 1st and 10. To the right side to Eric Ebron. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
On 2nd and 9, Brissett over the middle, complete. It's Harvey. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They'll run on 1st down. It's Hines. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Now a give, right side. Hines. And he's going to get this past the 50 and into Giant territory.
That was a good run, and it got to the 2nd level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle. And oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
Brissett on 3rd and 2. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down. The first look at the NFL scoreboard comes from down in Arizona. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. I have a feeling that one's going to stay tight throughout. We'll continue to monitor. This one will sail out of bounds. It'll depend on the spot here. And the side judge says that went out at the 7-yard line.
Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't it?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrel themselves on the sidelines to try and put the football in one.
And able to get this one out just shy of the 25 at the 24. 17 yards and a giant first down. A lot of running backs, a little bit of a disadvantage when you start talking MVP. Might not be the case this year. You think he's got a shot, don't you?
I do. I think he's got more than a shot. But what he's going to need here down the stretch this late in the season, he needs that big closing game, that game that we're all going to reflect on and go, oh, my goodness, did he put up a number, let's say 200 plus?
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
Let's go.
And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in Bronx. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. Well, this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a second and very long. Throwing Jones. He's going to air one out. But when this ball's tipped and intercepted, he's picked off at his own 46. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And I think they are going to get this one back. Well, that would have been something. Double turnovers. But instead, they'll keep the possession on the INT. Brissett on first down. And incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, second down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync. Only way to play good defense.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on first and second down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
57. Mike, 57.
On third down, Brissett. Catch made here by Campbell. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
One of the selling points of the in route is it gives the quarterback a really nice sight line to his receiver and almost on a direct shot able to throw the ball into the middle of the field and have a great chance of success as they did on that play.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Well, with the kind of half he's had, I think we can forgive him that run, right? Not every run's going to be a big play, is it?
No, and also the blocking just wasn't there. No room to run.
Yeah, defensively, they got to find a way to build on that because he's eating them alive in the first half.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Get your backs to the goal line. I can hear my high school coach right now. This is when force meets force. Got to be physical in order to win this battle.
Yeah, that's where the physicality pays off. A nice job forcing the contact and forcing the incompletion.
Yeah, Coach Ford would have loved that play.
This is third and goal. Brissett to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
The kick by Joseph is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
And it's a short kick, taken right around the 19. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. Jones, a final shot before break. He's going to throw one up for the end zone. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
Let's go! At their own 23-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them.
Watch the pass. Watch the pass.
They go play action with Brissett. He's going to wind up and air it out. That's caught inside the 20. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. A big play there. His 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Colts are able to cut into this lead. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is down to 11 at 28-17. Joseph now to kick this one away. This fielded at the 2. And some good coverage there by the kick team as they'll bring him down at the 16-yard line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They had that first half lead, but they have been shut down here in this third quarter, so time to retool a bit.
And probably need to tap into that emotion.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by Darius Leonard, the linebacker. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
On first down, it's Hines. Down right around the 25. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. From the 25 on second down, Brissett. Ebron caught left side. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
51, Mike. Mike 51. Watch the pass. Watch the pass. Hustle. Mike 51.
Brissett from the gun on third. And a throw there going to be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. The kick by Joseph is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. And in Week 17, let's hope this won't affect him for the playoffs. We'll step aside. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. That is catch number 300 now for his NFL career. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
Let's put that team on the bus.
2nd and 5. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Darius Leonard, the linebacker. And he will score. Touchdown, Indianapolis. So a dangerous pass over the middle into zone coverage, and it bit him hard.
And what's really difficult when you throw it in that direction and versus that zone, that means the linebackers have gotten to their spot, gotten their heads back around, and they can see the quarterback and everything in front of them. And they took big advantage of it, went the other direction, excellent blocking, and picked up a touchdown.
So right back to square one, tied at 28 as he kicks it away. This is taken at the 3. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive.
Big series right here. We got to step it up.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. He's at the 30. 10. Touchdown, Giants. Saquon Barkley, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Giants have taken the lead. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them want to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Looking for Campbell downfield. This is caught inside the 15. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Paris Campbell, his 11th touchdown of the year, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Extra point right down the middle, and that will tie our game here in the 3rd.
35-35. Greg Joseph set to kick off.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line.
At their own 27-yard line.
Ready up.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's 2nd and 8. Going deep for Benjamin. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Malik Hooker. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Anthony Walker coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. To throw, Brissett. They'll find Hines out of the backfield. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on 3rd.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
On 3rd and 1, here's Brissett. That's complete to Hines out of the backfield. And he will have the 1st down, but he winds up taking a pretty good shot that time. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. Brissett now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. They run with Hines. And he loses the football a 2nd time.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Now this throw caught left side. 85 catches for him on the year now, and the result there is a 1st down.
And the Colts 1st down.
So the drive takes him into Giants territory now. 1st and 10 at the 41. Now a give right side. Hines. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. 1 quarter remains here as the regular season starts to wind down. This is the National Football League on EA Sports.
Drop deep, drop deep. Set it, go, go. Switch gears. Check it backer, check it backer.
On 2nd and 11 now. Brissett. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. And they're going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 17-yard line. Well, we haven't been shortchanged on offense. Another fun play to watch there on the deep pass.
This game has the feel of, a turkey bowl, a Thanksgiving day. You know, when we get together this year, when the Davises and the Gardens get together, that's what our playbook's going to look like. Like they're drawing them up in the dirt, and so far it's working for both of them.
Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me. I'm going to keep firing.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play, stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
2nd and goal from the 1. stepping up. He's going to keep it. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave him with a third down. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Probably a little bit of a surprise call there on 3rd and inches that they decided to throw the football. And how difficult is that for an offensive line when they look up and see all those extra bodies coming at them?
Tons of bodies coming in. They get a huge sack there. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
This will be fielded at the 8. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. It's Barkley on the counter. And he spins past him and into space. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. It's a Giant first down on a gain of 16.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
So a solid run by Saquon Barkley and another 1st and 10 here.
53, check 53. Here we go.
Mike, ready?
Jones now operating from the gun. And Kelvin Benjamin's got it. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down.
Check.
This is Barkley. Well, he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold.
Let's go, D. Tighten up.
After the penalty, they go with Barkley. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. That's complete. He's got Barkley out of the backfield. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Well, that's how you convert on 3rd down with an explosive gain of 34. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. This is Michelle on the counter. And they'll work this down to the 15 for a pickup of 4.
50, plant. Crystal,
4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6.
Hey, jump.
He's back to throw, and he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down. He'll look to throw, letting one go deep for the end zone. And this is caught. Touchdown. And they've taken the lead here in the final minute.
Wow, I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but you got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They're down here in a one-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense.
And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. It's Chris Harris with a pick, and his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line.
The Giants take over first and 10 at the 50-yard line.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up first and 10 right at the 50-yard line. They'll run with Barkley. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this fourth quarter. And for the Colts, an extra defensive back in there now on third down.
Hey, high 7.
Now Jones. From the gun, he'll throw. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Quincy Wilson with the INT. The 20. And he will score. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Charles, I'm looking at you, and understandably, your mouth is wide open in disbelief. What were they thinking?
That's going to be one of the great mysteries, but I do know this. When they went out on offense, I will guarantee they told them, don't just make anticipatory throws. Make sure you see it before you throw it. Didn't happen here.
Trying to protect that lead, and now they gave it up. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. This one taken from the 7. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. So you're right there, but obviously the clock is not your friend. How do you handle this situation?
You're thinking 2 plays. One, to get yourself in position for the second one, whether you're able to get into field goal range or you have to try another deep pass, another Hail Mary. But you're trying to get the first one to a receiver, get out of bounds, and give yourself a chance to set things up for an easier shot at it.
We'll see if they can do it. Might be easier said than done. One final shot. They'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. You were wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for Indianapolis, it will wind up a .500 season as the win means they'll finish right at 8-8. And by just about all accounts, not the type of year they were hoping to have. Meanwhile, for the Giants, we'll have to see what happens as they're going to finish the year 10-6. And they'll get their shot at playoff football as they'll be on the road next week as a wild card. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.